If you've been hearing all the hype about AI revolutionizing everything, but you're not quite seeing it in reality, well, you're not alone. Let's take a closer look at what AI can actually do for us right now and separate the facts from the fiction sold by the people making them. I'm going to break it down into easy to understand categories that everyone can relate to. Broadly speaking, AI can help you with processing, generation, and enhancement. I'll dive deeper into the details later in this video, but first, let's address a common misconception. AI is not the perfect all-knowing tool we've been sold on that knows the deepest answers of the universe. I mean, if you ask an AI how many letter R's are in the word strawberry, it gets it wrong. How can a system smart enough to solve PhD level physics problem not be able to answer a question a 4-year-old could? Now, don't get me wrong, AI is still incredibly useful for many things. As a coder, I've been using AI to code even before ChatGPT came out 3-ish years ago. I use it over 100 times daily for tasks like coding, proofreading, content creation, and much, much more. What's up, AI juicers? Dennis here. If you're new, AI juicing is all about squeezing every last drop of value out of AI. So without any further ado, let's dive into the 3 main buckets of AI usage: processing, generation, and enhancement. First up, processing. What do I mean by that? Processing is taking a large amount of data and cutting it up in different ways for a human, like you and me, to understand it faster and easier. For example, just last week, I had to review a bunch of lengthy customer requirement documents. Instead of spending hours reading through them all, I use an AI tool to summarize the key points, extract the main action items, and even generate a list of clarifying questions I could ask them. It saved me a ton of time and it helped me quickly grasp the essential information. Let's face it, we all have a lot of content to go through. Lengthy emails, meeting notes, lecture notes, contracts, documents from colleagues, a new passion we want to jump into and learn. I often use AI to pre-process the information into manageable chunks and ask questions to give me a super deeper understanding much faster than I could by myself. I mean, in the fantasy world, we dreamt of books that could talk to us, and literally, they can now. Tools like Notebook LM from Google can create review cards, FAQs, outlines, and even generate a mini podcast discussing that specific topic, saving you hours of reading time. As a bonus, it doesn't judge you. You can ask it the silliest question that comes to mind without the fear of shame. And now to move on to our second part, the generation. Let's face it, nobody likes staring at a blank page, stumbling on the first things to say. And AI is awesome for this. I almost never write anything from scratch anymore. I tell the AI what I'm looking to achieve and ask it to do the first draft, which then triggers my inner emotional response of, ooh, I don't quite like that. Let's change it. The world of writing is literally at your fingertips. Write me a story for my kid where they are the main character. Done. Obviously, there's a bit of magic to get exactly what you want, but it's right there. Your own personal ghostwriter that will never lose patience with unlimited tweaking or mind changing. And now moving on to the last bucket of how AI can help us today, updating, or also called embellishment. This is about taking existing text or information and asking AI to improve on it. It's kind of like the Photoshop for words. You provide some text and tell the AI what you want to do with it. Do you want to proofread it for passive-aggressive tone in an email you want to send to a colleague or a client? Done. You want to improve the copy for a specific audience? Make it more poetic or engaging? You want to translate it to another language? Whatever you need, it just gets done. And that's awesome. You can of course do this in the same chat conversations that you're used to, but tools are becoming more and more integrated. So OpenAI added, for example, Canvas. Anthropic has artifacts. Google will probably put it in all its Google Suites software like Docs and Sheets. But you also have open source models like AI Juicing launched Juicebox that allows it to run with local models that are more private. They all allow you to co-author with AI. It's really a game changer. But let's do a little bit of a reality check. You need to be mindful that everything that it writes will most likely have errors, or it might not be exactly what you wanted. These systems have to give you an answer. Whatever you ask, it will write something even if it doesn't know. You can imagine it like that friend or family member that has an answer for everything, but you know that they're not going to be always right. I personally don't trust anything it writes to a point where I would let it do anything on its own for anything of consequences. Now, at least until I proofread it thoroughly. Obviously, there are some exceptions, like if it is a standard format, such as adding a personalized sentence in template email, that's fine. As a more concrete example, when I code with it, about 70% of the time there are errors in the code it generates. Thankfully, we have a bunch of tools that help us spot them faster faster, but just goes to show that it's far from perfect. With these downsides in mind, the productivity gains are still extremely noticeable. Instead of spending 20 minutes to an hour rereading or double checking your work, AI can do it and suggest fixes on the spot. And looking ahead, I think we'll obviously see AI implemented in more spaces like your email, Google Drive files, and beyond, especially as it gets cheaper, faster, and better. And while the underlying technology might not change that much, the way it's used will evolve, and the sum of these changes could lead to something much bigger. So if you haven't tried AI yet, I recommend putting more than just a little toe in the water. At the same time, be sure to double check its work, treating it like an intern or a teenager doing their homework. And all that being said, more can be done with what people call AI agents. But I'll be making another video on that subject, so make sure to subscribe and to know when it comes out. What about you, AI juicers? How are you using AI in your daily life and work? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more AI juicing content. Until next time, keep squeezing that AI value.